Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm checking out some Justin Bieber. In particular, his very first EP, which came out 11 years ago in 2009. He was only 15 years old, just a wee lad. It is called My World, the bonus track version. There are 9 tracks, and the only tracks I've heard is track number one, One Time, and track number five, One Less Lonely Girl. All the other tracks are brand new to me. And there is actually a French vocal version of One Less Lonely Girl, track number 8, which I'm excited to dig into because he's Canadian, I'm Canadian, French, it goes hand in hand. So I'm excited to check out this album for the first time. So I don't have much to say. Let's get right into it with track number 1, One Time. Okay, and that was track number 1, One Time. Wow, this song takes me back to 2009. I think the first time I ever heard the song was through the music video. I watched the music video for the first time on this music station called Much Music in Canada. And that was the first time I heard the song. And I was like, who is this kid? Who is this young kid I never heard of before? And the song starts playing. I'm like, what? It's kind of catchy, I won't lie. It's kind of fun. From what I remember in the music video, it was a house party. And I remember thinking, this kid is way too young. He looks way too young to be at this house party. He looks like he's 11 years old. What is he doing? I mean, this track is just pure bubblegum pop, and it's just fun to listen to, honestly. Anyway, let's move on to track number 2, Favorite Girl. Okay, and that was track number 2, A Favorite Girl. This song was pretty catchy, I'm not gonna lie. And obviously, I mean, it's a little ridiculous I'm listening to this album being the age that I am. Obviously, this is an album targeted towards very young teenage girls. I feel like if I was a 12-year-old girl, I would really love this album. Even back when I was 12 years old, a 12-year-old boy, I probably would have liked this album. I'm not gonna lie. Could you imagine being a 12-year-old girl in her, I don't know, teen years, reading these lyrics and listening to these songs and thinking, oh, this cute boy, Justin Bieber, he is singing these beautiful words to me. I could only imagine. He's saying, what does he even say in the song? My prized possession, one and only, adore ya girl, I want ya, the one I can't live without. That's you, you're my special little lady, the one that makes me crazy. And he opens up the song with, I always knew you were the best, the coolest girl I know, so prettier than all the rest, the star of my show. I mean, that's poetry to a girl's ears. So now let's move on to track number 3, Down to Earth. Alrighty, and that was track number 3, Down to Earth. This was a sweet song from Justin Bieber. He's saying, I never thought that it'd be easy because we're both so distant now and the walls are closing in on us. And we cry and cry and cry and cry and we live and we learn and we try and try and try. And mama, you were always somewhere, and daddy, I live out of town, so tell me how could I ever be normal somehow? So he is singing about his mom and dad, perhaps. He's saying that he needs them where he is. I just need you here so we fight through the hurt. This is a pretty deep song for a 15-year-old to sing, and I liked it. And it's also nice to see he has a writing credit at the bottom. So it looks like he contributed to the song, which is always nice to see an artist, even at this age, contributing to their music. So now let's move on to track number 4, Bigger. I was a player when I was little. Alrighty, so that was track number 4, Bigger, and this was a lot of fun to listen to. I really enjoyed the lyrics. They put a smile on my face. He's saying now he is bigger. We're bigger. You're bigger. We can stand up to the bullies. We can stand in the picture. We're big enough to stand next to love. So he's bigger now, and because he's bigger, he can look down at all the people who are smaller, who used to bully him. So he could be talking about growing up and getting bigger physically, in the sense that he's getting taller, stronger, or the sense that he is more famous now. He has a recording contract, so in a sense he is bigger. It could be different things, but obviously he is also alluding to the bullies being able to stand up for himself. Now the bullies in the schoolyard can't take our hugs and our kisses from us, because we ain't pushovers no more, baby, because we're bigger. And he also says, I was a player when I was little. So he was 15 years old when this album came out, so is he alluding to the fact he was playing girls' hearts when he was much younger than 15, maybe 10, 12? Was he breaking girls' hearts at a young age, younger than 15? I have no idea. Well, I guess he admits it right here, a heartbreaker when I was little. So he was breaking girls' hearts at a very young age, which is heartbreaking. I feel so bad for all those girls. I love this line in particular, and all the haters, I swear they look so small from up here. Love it. I will say, this is probably one of my favorite tracks on the EP so far. So now let's move on to track number 5, One Less Lonely Girl.
Alright, let's go. There's gonna be one less lonely girl. One less lonely. How many had soldiers and start over? Some shoulders and you cried on before. Saw so many pretty faces. Saw you. There's gonna be one less lonely girl. One less lonely girl. There's gonna be one less lonely girl. Wasn't every 14th of February, not one of them stayed with you. Don't need these other pretty faces like I need you. One less lonely girl. There's gonna be one less lonely girl. One less lonely girl. There's gonna be one less lonely girl. Only you shout it.
Only you, Shelby. Okay, and that was track number 5, One Less Lonely Girl. This will always be one of my favorite Justin Bieber songs ever. I love it. It's obviously one of my favorite tracks on the EP, if not maybe my favorite. I do want to bring up a story about a girl I knew when I was in elementary school. This might not come across as a shock to a lot of you, but I had a lot of female friends when I was in elementary school. I even want to go as far as say that all my friends in elementary school were female. I remember being invited to all the girls' birthday parties, and I would always be the only guy at these birthday parties. There'd be a group of 10 girls, and I would always be the only guy. There maybe was another guy occasionally, but it was always just me as the only guy at these parties. And there was one girl in particular, I remember her name, Abby. She was my best friend, or one of my best friends at the time. We always hung out. We were obsessed with Sailor Moon. And one day, unfortunately, she had to move away because her parents got a job or whatever. I forget what the reason was, but she had to move out of the city somewhere. I forget where she moved to. So we hung out for the last time. I remember because her mom took me and her to Toys R Us. And I remember hanging out with her for the last time, and she said goodbye. And then I think a couple months later, she mailed me a letter, and she was telling me about her new house. And in the envelope were stickers. She sent me presents, and she wrote this big letter about what her new life was and where she was and what she was doing. She was so excited, but she missed me. And I remember at the end of the letter, she wrote, "You better write back to me. If you don't, I'll be very sad and we won't be friends anymore." Something like that. So I don't know what happened, but I didn't end up replying back to her. I think I might have wrote something, but for whatever reason, I don't know if something happened with the letter or what have you, but she never got a reply. And to this day, I feel really bad because after she sent that letter, she sent me no more letters and we never talked again. And Abby, if you're watching this, I apologize. I'm so sorry I never replied back to you. You were a great friend. You were my best friend at the time. And I feel really shitty for not replying back to you. So please accept my apology. And I would love to meet you again after all this time, 20 years later. I would love to reconnect to see how your life went. And the sad part is I don't even remember her last name. So I can't even look her up on Facebook or whatever. I can't even look her up because there are millions of Abbies in the world, so I'm thinking I'll probably never end up seeing her again, but that's that. And the reason I bring up that story is because I feel like I might have broken her heart. As to whether she had a crush on me, I don't know. She might have, but I can only imagine, especially now sitting here talking about the story to you guys, I can only imagine that maybe she was cried over the fact that I did reply back to her. And every day she was asking her mom if I replied back to her, and the answer was no. And thinking about it now, it kind of makes me feel a little shitty. But anyway, let's move on to track number 6, First Dads featuring Usher.
Fellas, it's the moment you've been waiting for. See me and you at the prom.
Aww.
We've both been waiting so long. DJ's playing my favorite song. Ain't no chaperone. If you give the first dance to me, couldn't ask for more. Girl, I promise I'll be gentle. We gotta do it slowly. Somebody said we look cute together. Let's make this a night the two of us remember. It's to me, first things, baby. Cherish it. So take advantage of this slow jam.
Alrighty, so that was track number 6, First Dads, and this was such a precious song, and it's really adorable. He's saying, "Give the first dads to me, girl, I promise I'll be gentle. You know we gotta do it slowly. If you give the first dads to me, I'm gonna cherish every moment. There are no teachers around. There is no adult supervision. It's just the two of them, and it just takes you back to junior high or high school, or maybe even elementary school when you're first interested in the sex you're attracted to. So whether it be the opposite sex or the same sex, it's just having the butterflies of interacting with someone you have a crush on, and you're that age where you don't really know what to make of it. You're just interested in this person and you're shy and it's awkward and you're dancing. And I remember being at school dances in junior high and how awkward it was, but how fun it was, and just touching a girl's waist for the first time and not really knowing what to do and being all awkward and shy, and it just kind of takes you back to those days. I just thought this was a really cute song, and it's more R&B electronic sounding. It has Usher in it as well, which is a bonus, and I thought it was really cute. So now let's move on to track number 7, Love Me. JB. Okay, and that was track number 7, Love Me. This was another fun bubblegum pop song. I enjoy listening to it. It's just very careless and fun and youthful, and it just puts you in a good mood. And this song is no exception when it comes to the theme of this album, which I feel like is girls and dating and treating girls with respect, or whomever you're dating, telling this particular someone that they're the one and they're amazing and treating them with respect. He's saying, my friends say that I'm a fool to think that you're the one for me. I guess I'm just a sucker for love. Because honestly, the truth is that you know I'm never leaving because you're my angel sent from above. So he's using all these really beautiful words that sound like ear candy to any girl. He is praising them and he is loving them and he's saying that they're amazing and he's gonna love them forever. So there are 2 tracks left. Let's move on to track number 8, One Less Lonely Girl. This is the French vocal version. I wish I knew how to speak French, which it's embarrassing for me to say that because all through school I had to take French classes and I don't remember anything from those classes. I only know how to say numbers 1 through 10 in French. That's all I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't even know if I pronounced those right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you know French, please tell me if I pronounced those numbers right. I have a feeling I might have screwed some of them up. But anyway, that's as far as my French goes, which is embarrassing because I live in Canada. I should know more French. But anyway, let's move on to the final track of the album. Track number 9, which is a bonus track, Common Denominator.
Just a fraction of your love. You're the light that feeds the sun in my world. Go back to just being one half of the equation. You changed the game, now I put my card to the side. I don't wanna go back to just being one half. I don't wanna go back to just being one half of the equation.
Alrighty, so that was track number 9, Common Denominator. This was another sweet and cute and precious song. He said, I'd face 1,000 years of pain for my girl. Of all the things in life that I could fear, the only thing that would hurt me is if you weren't here. I also feel like he is confessing that he was a player and a heartbreaker when he was younger. And I feel like on this album, he's making some sort of declaration that he's changed, that he is growing up, and he's not breaking hearts anymore, that he was a player, he did break hearts, but now he just wants that special girl in his life, and he's willing to give the world to her, treat her with love and respect, the respect and love that she deserves. And how many 15-year-olds would say, you're the light that feeds the sun in my world? I face 1,000 years of pain for my girl. So that is all 9 tracks of the bonus track version of My World by Justin Bieber. And going into this album, I kind of knew what I was getting myself into, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of bubblegum pop hits, and it's a 15-year-old's album. It's a 15-year-old's diary. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot from it. It's just, it puts you in a good mood. also kind of takes you back in time to when you were younger, to when you were a teenager, even maybe a tween before you even hit junior high. It kind of takes you back to those days where the world is so new to you and relationships are so new to you, and you're just in a very confusing time in your life, and this just kind of takes you back to those years. I'm just thinking back to when I was a tween, maybe 10, 11, 12. Would I listen to this album back then? And I probably would have. So I think that's all I want to say. What did you guys think of the EP? What are your favorite tracks? Were you a huge Justin Bieber fan back in 2009? Were you completely obsessed with him? When did you first discover him? Where did you see him for the first time? Where did you hear one of his songs for the first time? Like I told you at the beginning of this video, I watched his music video for one time for the very first time, and that is how I was exposed to Justin Bieber for the first time. And what did you think of him then compared to now in 2020? So thanks for watching, guys.
Find out Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on TikTok, Apple Music, you can check out my playlist on Apple Music, and yes.
So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.